Of the hostage Kenneth Bigley. First, over to ITV newsrooms around the country for the latest where you are.
Good afternoon. The lunchtime news now from Meridian. A lorry driver who was kidnapped during a hijacking in Hampshire is being interviewed by detectives. The robbery happened at Sutton Scotney services on the A34 between Winchester and Newbury yesterday morning. The gang kidnapped the driver and stole his lorry load of French brandy worth nearly £250,000. The River Kennet, which runs through Wiltshire and Berkshire, is about to become the subject of a massive restoration project. The river, once famous for its water quality, has become murky and unhealthy. But now new investment has been secured for the next 5 years, as Caroline Asker reports.
The River Kennet is one of only 160 chalk streams in England. It was once famous for its crystal clear waters, but now dirt and silt have built up and the Kennet is in decline. Agricultural practices which run off pesticides into the water and the discharge of effluents from sewage treatment works have had a devastating impact. Now, the Environment Agency and British Waterways have each committed £25,000 a year for the next 5 years to restore the Kennet back to its former glory.
Because the problems are different at different points, there are going to be different solutions. One solution, of course, is going to be to work with the water companies to ensure that what's coming out of sewage work discharges improves. Another one's going to be to work with farmers to make sure that the runoff from their working of their land doesn't cause problems in the river. And the third one's going to be to do with how we can control the silt coming through the locks where the canal meets the river. So it's a lot of different issues.
The River Kennet has always been renowned amongst anglers, but fish stock isn't what it used to be. It's now hoped the diversity and quantity of fish can be improved in a project which some think is long overdue.
Well, I have to say, after 14 years of campaigning for something to be done about the condition of the River Kennet, I mean, obviously I'm thrilled. I wish this had happened 14 years ago, because in that time we've seen the Kennet decline. It used to be a crystal clear, beautiful chalk stream. It's a shadow of its former self, but at least with the investment from the Environment Agency, from British Waterways, and hopefully from the lottery and other sources, we can get this river back on track again.
The restoration of the Kennet is a long-term project, and this initial investment won't go nearly far enough. The Environment Agency now hope to get extra funding from Europe and the National Lottery to reverse the river's decline by 2010. Caroline Asker for Meridian News.
Resident groups from the south have launched a campaign at Westminster against airport expansion. They're protesting at the government's aviation white paper, which has earmarked a new runway at Heathrow. Now, obesity has become a multi-million-pound worry for the National Health Service. More children than ever are becoming overweight by not exercising and eating too much junk food. Well, now health experts in Basingstoke are pioneering a fun way to combat the problem, as Malcolm Stuart explains.
Belly dancing and bananas, the way to stay young and beautiful. That's the message for these youngsters in this Basingstoke superstore. Take exercise and eat 5 portions of fruit and vegetables every day.
Obesity has rapidly become a public health problem, and it's overtaking some of the smoking-related diseases in terms of the detrimental effects to health later on in life.
Certainly plenty of fruit and veg here, but how easy is it for parents to persuade their children to choose brassicas rather than burgers?
Every day we try different things. Well, I say every day, throughout their lives, every so often. If there's something they don't like, they get it again a couple of days later.
Sam, it seems, has admirable children.
I like broccoli, sweet corn, tuna, carrots and lettuce.
Back to the belly dancing then. Lack of exercise is a modern problem, but the message from the North Hampshire Primary Care Trust is that it doesn't mean having to do a cross-country run on a cold February morning. But are they preaching to the converted here at the Sainsbury's store in Basingstoke?
What do you like doing for sport?
Running around and jumping.
What about you?
Rugby and football.
We do a lot of sport at school and stuff.
Yeah.
We eat a lot of healthy fruit because we don't want to be like all sporty and can't run and everything.
I like apples. But I like Galaxy as well.
And there are always bananas. Malcolm Stuart in Basingstoke for Meridian News.
Now a preview of Meridian tonight. We'll be investigating the hidden chemicals in our food. Research has revealed traces of pesticides in a quarter of everything we eat. So should we